Hello, everybody out there, and welcome back to another episode of the Dark Avenger comic book review, coming at you live every single Monday. We have not missed a Monday.
Yeah.
Since December, honestly. We started doing live shows towards the end of December, but since the first week of January, we have not missed a single week on Monday.
Yep.
I'm very proud of us. We're going into 2 months, going on 3 very soon. And we haven't missed a Monday. And you know what? I feel like it's because we know no matter what, no matter how far we get, we do the review. We mention the books we've read and we mention the books we haven't read. And we always talk about everything. And we're live, so we always have people to talk to. Yes, I'm starting an intro up to give people the chance to find out. Because when you go live, it takes a couple of minutes for people to find out. And that's when people start coming in. So hopefully everybody's having a great week. This past weekend was our mother's birthday. So happy birthday to our mom. But also this weekend, Sea of Thieves came out.
The beta version.
The beta. The first of 3. There's going to be another beta, and I believe there will be an alpha. There'll be one more closed beta and an open alpha to everyone. And look forward to me doing a video talking about the beta. I'm actually writing up the stuff now for it, and in between work and everything else, I will be doing a video with the gameplay on it. But if you'd like to see unreview talked gameplay, you just want to see the actual gameplay and the fun we had, check out Frontline Gaming Zone. Part 1 is up. Part 2 will be going up tomorrow. Or you can just go over to my Twitch right now and check it out for free. I mean, I don't charge people. I don't make people subscribe to my channel so they can see my videos on demand, which are my videos after live streaming them. So you can go check it out on my Twitch right now if you'd like. Anyway, we have a nice amount of books this week. Did we count how many books we had this week?
I think 23.
23?
I think.
It's going to be very funny because I think like 3 or 4 books in a row, you're going to hear me say I'm done with this week. So I'm giving you guys a little bit of a heads up. We have a nice amount of indie books. We have some really nice indie books.
Yep.
And some books that you're going to predict that we aren't going to like. And some books you're going to know that we do like. But when did these books come out, Michael?
They were released on February 7, 2018. First week of February?
Second.
Oh,
7,
second.
14, 21, 20.
Oh, yeah. Because I thought it was the first week.
First week was last week.
Oh, okay. So then that was then.
We're in the second week, yes.
All right.
We're starting off with a big heavy hitter. I would have put it a little lower, but I got to be honest with you guys. I got to talk about I'm eager to talk about this book, and that is Invincible 144, the grand finale, the end of Invincible, the end of the series. And my God, this was a spectacular final issue. It was a bittersweet final issue because it was excellent. It was amazing. It was everything you want Robert Kirkman to do. Now it says top chat. Why? Oh, wow. Live chat. Yes, I want live chat. I hope nobody's been chatting this time because apparently I was on. There's a new thing, top chat. Some messages such as potential spam may not be visible. Now all messages are visible. I hope so. I'm actually going to start it up. I'm going to open up the chat again. But anyway, I really enjoyed Invincible 144 this week. Oh, man. One thing that gets me upset about it, though, is the fact that it's not popped out. Look at that. See? Jeremy Renfro, how are you, my friend? I'm sorry. I did not have the right chat. Oh, no. Now it says hi on that one, too. Okay, so I guess I did once I reloaded the video. But anyway, how are you, my friend? I'm a little upset with Invincible ending because Robert Kirkman basically showed an awesome storyline for where Invincible could have gone. And I believe, I don't want to get too deep into it because we did talk a bit about, we talked a bit about it, me and Brant, on my stream today on Twitch. And we talked a bit about it on Zone 4, I believe. One thing I will say, though, is, oh, no, we didn't talk about it on Zone 4 because Brant and Jay didn't read it yet at that point. This book goes through Mark, obviously, taking over the Vultramites. Good, you can eat, say, oh, I guess you mean just say Jeremy. It shows his 2 children growing up, both Marcus, which is little Marky, and Tara. And you get to see all these little stories. Like, he literally plays out the end of Mark all the way through to when Mark is, it's 500 years in the future, and or not 500 years. I don't know when, because he says 500 at the end of the issue of the book. But at the same time, you see Tara is an adult now. Marcus is a young adult. And both of them kind of take over their father's mantle. Marcus becomes an Invincible. He starts off as Kid Invincible and then becomes the next Invincible. And Tara joins several different things, and she's kind of against her father first, then she joins up with her father. You get to see her grow up, and it all happens in one book. But if you really wanted to, you could easily have taken Invincible and kind of done what Savage Dragon did. You know, Mark goes off into space, and the book's main character becomes Marcus. There were so many great stories that were teased that we just literally zoomed by. Like, we went through all those stories and ended like hundreds of years in the future. And I kind of feel like we lost out on so many great stories. We lost out on watching Marcus grow up into the next Invincible. We missed the fight between Marcus and Mark, because Marcus always held it, you know, he always idolized Mark, but then his idealism of him turned into hatred because he never got to go into space. He never got to see Mark, really. He got to see Tara, but not Mark. And Tara's evolution from being a little child into a young woman and all the things that she went through with Mark, as a matter, you know, as Mark was being the father, and also Eve growing old, dying, and then being reborn, basically becoming immortal like Mark and all the other Voltrumites. It was a really great ending, but man, Kirkman really let go of something that he just proved he had years worth of content for. Years. I'm talking, if we would have gone back and this arc where Mark left ended, and we started off with issue 145 with Marcus as the new Invincible, we had in that book, and I'm talking about this book a lot, it's the final issue. I think I have a right to talk about this book. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
We had so many great stories. We had so much great setups. So many awesome things that could have happened that Kirkman even showed he wanted, you know, in a storyline, in a 80-page story, he showed us all the arcs in one book. I'm upset to see this series go, but he ended it really well. He did end the series excellent, but my one thing is I would have rather have seen all those stories as arcs. I would have rather have gone through all those stories as a reader through issues 145, 245, maybe even 345, than have it all wrapped up for me in issue 144, and that's the end. If Mark's time was done, like I said, if Savage Dragon can do it, Invincible could do it, and even divide the story between Marcus and Mark. I mean, Mark did a lot of stuff in space as well. They easily could have continued following Mark. I'm sad that it's ending. I feel like Walking Dead, and I know a lot of you guys are going to get mad at me for saying this, but I feel like with Walking Dead, they're progressing towards a finite, you know, there's only a finite amount of things that I will read comments. I see a lot of comments popping up, I promise. So stick around, everybody who's commenting. There's a finite amount of stories you can tell with Walking Dead before it becomes repetitious. But Invincible, the proof was in the last issue that this could have been a series that could have been ongoing forever, ever and ever. And I hope that one day Kirkman, you know, he joked with us about the reboot. He joked with us about a few things with his book. I'm hoping that maybe he'll come back with issue 145, start up again right where Mark left, and take us through Marcus's, you know, growing into the Invincible world. Take us through Mark, you know, his daughter, Tara, growing up and him dealing with all these different stages of Tara's life. I would love to see that. I really feel bad that Kirkman let this book go. Yeah. I really feel bad that he let it go. And obviously he's got a lot on his plate. He's doing a lot of things. I agree. I know. I understand. And I'm sure that he doesn't want anybody else to write Invincible, and that's why he let it go. But man, oh man, I really wish he would have let something else go, because he proved that there were so many good things he could have done with it. There were so many great stories that still are yet to be told. We've only seen snippets and endings of the story. We've not truly seen the whole story. Now, in the comments, reviews from the Batcave. What is going on? Hey, yo. What's up? Just subbed you guys. Like what I see. Thank you so much. Reviews from the Batcave. I'm really happy you're enjoying what you see here. I hope you enjoy the reviews, and stick around. Feel free to comment. Love hearing from comments. I don't interrupt you're new, so I'm going to explain. When I do a book or Mike does a book, we do the book, we talk about the whole book first, and then we go into comments. We do the comments, and then we go to our next book that we review, and then we go back to the comments. So comment away, and we will get to your comment. I go through all the comments live. I do not end the show until we get through all of our comments. So thank you for being here. Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy your stay here. We've got a lot of stuff from video games to comic books. The comic review is a weekly series. But yeah, and also I would recommend Tuesday checking out Comic Frontline on YouTube, because we do a Frontline live show where we talk about news and our top fives for the week. Up to you. That's our group channel. That's our group website. All right. Also got One Piece box set. Oh, cool. You got One Piece. 2 for 129 volumes, 24 through 45. Oh, for volumes 24 through 45. Nice. What's up, Tevia? Yeah, I know you're sad Invincible's ending. I agree. 345 would have been amazing. It would have. Back to reviews from the Batcave. Yes, it ended great, but he has handed so much. Yeah, exactly. At least he's not pulling a Brian Michael Bendis where he takes like 8 comic books on, and then he's like struggling through about 4 of them. I'm going to move the computer a little bit closer to me so I don't have to bend down like this. You get a nice close view of the beard. So at least it ended on terms. Yeah, it ended on his terms, which is true. Eve, I mentioned that. I like that Eve is immortal. It's Frank. What's going on, Frank? I agree. Terror Story could have been amazing. I agree. Ultimate Invincible Marvel style. That would be interesting. It would be interesting. I'm sad Invincible ended. Yes, you said that already. All right, so Invincible, man. Great series. If you never read a single issue of Invincible, get the compendiums, get the Ultimate collections, get whatever you have to. It was a great series, and hopefully one day Kirkman, if he ever frees up in time, will return to Invincible, because that is my favorite Kirkman series. I like Walking Dead, but I loved Invincible. Bravo, Robert Kirkman. You did an amazing job with this final issue. This issue was spectacular. It gave us a really great ending. If we never see Invincible again, we got our definitive end, and I loved it. I really did. I enjoyed it a lot.
All right, so now we're going to go into Grimm Fairy Tales, Dance of the Dead, issue number 4. This was sort of like my, not worst picks, but this is like my lowest picks this week. Because, like, I mean, I understand that they got to the gate, but now Mary...
What's up, G-Pap? Sorry, I want to say hi. Well, you just started.
With Mary, Mystery, and Baku, who actually go into the gate, they actually find out throughout the issue that they're going through this maze that they have to find ways of getting through. And we get a little bit of Baku's backstory of how he has like all this magic and stuff, and how there was actually parts of the maze that actually help them out to get to where they have to go. They run through these things that happen, like with the 3 doors and stuff like that. Like there's part of that in the issue. But yeah, at the end of the issue, though, things get like really like all over the place. Like when they met up with these creatures and whatnot. We also find out that Mystery is actually a genie, and it actually gets into a little bit of that of her story. So it's more of just getting into a little bit of story of them, but I really enjoyed the issue. Definitely some that you should get. Grimm Tales of Terror, issue number 12 of volume 3.
Is this the last issue, or
I think 13 is the last one, because they had a preview cover.
Okay, so maybe 13 is the end.
13. Wow, the Wax Museum. Like, you ever thought of like when you created something?
I've created many things.
Right, just saying out of something, and then it actually
there's a lot of somethings out of something you can create.
All right. Well, anyway, basically, he created the guy in the story of his daughter out of wax after she died, and afterwards his wife, from when he gave her the blood from the grave and stuff like that. I'm gonna get to that. But it was really like something else. Like the mother and daughter like always went out, and then it wasn't going out as a mother-daughter thing. They were actually killing people with, you know, and the father didn't know. Like, he was just like saying, okay, so they want to get together. But in the end, though, he gets it brutally after he finds out what happened. And oh my God. Talk about just a whole evilness with just that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Firestorm, what's going on? Funny, this is what you are talking about as I jump in. First two Ultimate Collections of Invincible just arrived the other day. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Also got Titans Volume 3 and Tokyo Ghoul RE Volume 3. Cool.
This book
looks, I was going to say it looks like Wonder Woman. So that's, well, you guys got the list already, so you know where we're going next. But
yeah.
And I like that Meredith Finch wrote this, and the artist looks great.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. No wonder why David Finch did the cover.
What I'm talking about is Xena Warrior Princess issue number 1.
I purposely left that for you to review. I'm going to be reading this after the show, though, for sure.
Yeah, and you should read it. Like, basically, it just shows...
Well, time is not my friend.
I'm just saying, But anyway, it starts off where this girl meets up with these 3 guys because she's going to Athens on her journey, and these 3 guys are trying to stop her. But then Xena, the artwork, I have to admit, was drawn really amazing. How they drew Xena. And she actually, helps her out, because Xena is actually friends with Hercules. And since she heard about that, since she's going to Athens, she wanted to actually meet up with Hercules, actually. So after the whole fight ended, she wanted to join with Xena.
Not Hercules.
Hercules.
You said Hercules.
I meant Hercules, actually. Sorry. Hercules. But get this. It kind of makes a comparison to Red Sonja, because remember that woman that wanted to join Red Sonja, and then she's like, oh, I'm really not into the whole joining thing? This issue did that also, where she wanted, because she's going to Athens, she wanted to join along with Xena, and since she says she travels alone, she had a good heart too. So that makes a little bit of a comparison to when I read Red Sonja, because I stopped for a minute, I'm like saying, wait a minute, that's exactly what happened with Red Sonja. Just like a little bit of a comparison there. So I like that
Warriors travel alone.
I know, but I like that how they have like different characters that want to join with them instead of just going solo. So that's why I said that was interesting. And there's this one guy like says, oh, how there's always that ending thing of like saying you're not going to get far and yada, yada, yada. And that's to be continued until next issue. But really great job Meredith Finch did on the issue.
I'm looking forward to seeing the next one. I'm looking forward to reading this one.
Yeah. Bloodshot Salvation, issue number 6.
As he almost drops it.
No, I had it in my hand. So in this issue, we get where, see, Bloodshot, I like his character because he's trying to not get into the whole nanites thing of turning into Bloodshot. But since he wanted to find out more about Magic's father, Magic found out that he turned to Bloodshot from that letter. And because of his daughter feeling very ill, she got very upset about that. So what happens is that there's like this whole big thing where Ninjak comes in and he wants to try to find ways of, making things better for Bloodshot and whatnot. Just making things less of an ease and stuff like that. But they go on an adventure, and he takes the baby through the portal, which Magic wasn't too keen about that. And it looks like that he went to a doorway to hell.
Interesting.
Bloodshot. So I'm going to see what happens where they went in the next issue.
Now, we only get this book physically because getting it on Comixology is ridiculous.
Yes. Street Fighter Reloaded, issue number 6. And this issue was
actually the back better.
Yeah, the back cover looks really nice. That has Ryu, Akuma, and Ken. And in this issue, it just basically shows Ryu and Ken that are going up against Akuma because Ryu accuses Akuma for murdering Goken. I was trying to get that. I wanted to show you artwork.
I didn't even read the book.
Artwork is drawn really amazing. I love the artwork.
Remember Goken. It's like Goku.
And Goten, if you mix them together. But anyway, so as they fight off against Akuma, Sakura meets up with Ryu because she heard about him, but she wasn't trained yet. Like, this is at the very, very, very beginning.
Yes, this is Reloaded. It's from the beginning. Yes.
Right. I'm just explaining it to them.
Oh, I thought you were explaining it to me.
No, we know Street Fighter. I was explaining to them. Eey. But then it goes flashbacks where Ryu was fighting off against another trainer of Goken. And then it's just like you get the whole thing of what Ryu is actually going through. And we also find out that Ken's wife Eliza is pregnant. So because he wanted to go off with Ryu somewhere, but since that's in the way, Ryu understands the situation. So instead of Ken going with him, it looks like that Sakura is actually going to be going with Ryu. And then we just get a whole bunch of other stuff that's going to be, something else. But I thought it was, but it says the end. So I guess this is the end of Reloaded?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, because it says end. And that's it. So this whole series was really great. Definitely would get a trade paperback of this because
they were $1. Each issue was $1, so it should only be $6 to trade.
Exactly. So,
also, Sean Murphy pitching Batman White Knight Volume 2, less on politics and more on character focusing. That would be interesting. I'll be reading it. I like White Knight Volume 1. We are going into, speaking of Batman, Marvel and DC now, starting, of course, with the aforementioned Marvel Comics.
Yes, and we started off with this one, actually, which I review on Comic Frontline. Punisher War Machine. This is issue number 221. Why you give me that?
No.
Oh, I thought this, because this is how you piled it.
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought you made a mistake. All right. Well, anyway, I'll just give a briefie of this. He's looking for Padrov. He finds one of the men who, destroyed his armor. So he used his armor to actually make it into his own. And Nick Fury actually, finds out where he's been. So he actually talks with him about, my mission is to get Padrov. And then after that, Padrov made a broadcast of saying, leave now and surrender or else face the consequences because he has nukes and stuff like that. So now it looks like the Punisher is going to go after him, and it looks like Padrov came out from hiding.
Be ready because we're going to be speeding through these. X-Men Blue 21. I got to be honest with you guys. I really am not digging the Poison X story. And as you guys know, I will be dropping X-Men Blue right after this crossover with Venom because I'm reading Venom still. I'm on the fence about sitting the rest of this crossover out because honestly, I'm not feeling anything, really caring anything, and the X-Men get taken over by this. Every time Venom's involved, the X-Men get taken over, or whoever he's with get taken over by symbiotes and become venomized. So seeing the young X-Men venomized was okay, but again, I just don't care. I'm trying. I really am. Cyclops wants to find his dad. His dad is getting interrogated by these guys that are, that have click tars, that are like Venom. And the X-Men are chasing after them, and Venom's joining them, and I feel like that's what I'm saying. And it's just, and it's like I'm trying to come up with some reason for me to want to continue reading this.
I think anything with the symbiote is poisoning the book.
And I'm losing interest really quickly. I'm probably with the next issue, we'll see. I'm probably dropping this. I mean, I'm dropping it early. We all know I'm dropping X-Men Blue. I just might be dropping it earlier than anticipated. I don't care. I don't care at all, honestly. And we all know that. God, are you making an appearance? Because the light did you notice that?
Oh,
God, are you agreeing with me, God? Yeah, I'm okay. We all know that inevitably now the young X-Men, as Tevi is saying in the comments, will be. Oh, God's leaving slowly. Anyway, the young X-Men will be probably going away anyway. Now that Bendis has moved over to DC. And he'll be probably creating the ultimate DC line without using the word ultimate. They'll probably call it something else. I'm still interested, though, because Ultimate Spider-Man, when it first debuted, was really good. But that's beside the point. X-Men Blue.
Something's flashing.
Yeah, that's my Discord.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what that was.
Now, this book I am done 100% positively. Old Man Logan, 35. This is it for me, folks. The end of the Manipur story. The end of oh God, why did her name leave my mind?
Whiplash?
No, the girl. I forgot her name. It's in the first.
It's
in the first page. It's in one of the.
Wait, let me exit out.
Oh, it's in one of the first pages. He says her name, but they end up getting rid of the Regen X. Wolverine can't heal anymore. So, there's her name. Her name would be right here. Why can't I remember her name?
If it's Mandrapore.
Moroku. I forgot her. For some reason, it left my mind her name. Moroku and Logan destroy the Regen X, defeat the Hand, once and for all. And there's a funny ending with Silver Samurai where they think he doesn't stop creating Regenex, and he does. Logan dies. Moroku uses the Regenex on him, and now he has his healing factor possibly back to full strength. I don't know, question mark, but I don't care. I lost interest in this series super quick once the Maestro story arc ended. And even the Maestro story arc was kind of dragged out for a bit. I have no care in the world for Old Man Logan. Our Logan is back, so it's only a matter of time before we have Wolverine, all new Wolverine, and Old Man Logan. And out of those 3 titles, I only see myself buying 2. This one is not one of those 2. Can't wait for people to retcon everything he has ever done. They'll never retcon it. They'll just continue from it. Another book, I'm done. Nope. I saw this. When I saw what was happening in this book, I said, nope. I see where you're going. I'm not doing this again. Captain America 698.
2 issues from 700.
Listen, Mark Waid did excellent work with Daredevil. Did amazing work with Daredevil. Got me to caring about Daredevil and read, and he got me to read Daredevil his entire run. No. So Captain America's been frozen again on purpose by these people. I keep forgetting the Rampage, I believe they're called. Rampage?
You want to look?
No, because I don't remember their name. But anyway, he's been frozen, and it's the year 2025. So he's been frozen for 25 years. Humanity has crashed, and now it's up to Captain America to retake America and save the world in the future. We all know what's going to happen here, folks. He's going to save the world in the future, find a time machine, travel back in time. I don't know if he can even unfreeze himself. Can he unfreeze? Yeah, unfreeze himself early. Tell himself what happened. He'll disappear into the time. Already we're getting paradoxes. Somehow Cap will go back in time. Maybe stop himself from being frozen. Who knows? And prevent this dark future from happening in the end. No. Not doing that. Not dealing with that. I am no way am I into Captain America in the future dealing with a dark. This is 2 X-Men for me. Dealing with a dark future. No. So with that, I depart reviewing Captain America for a while. I'll probably end up coming back for 700. I believe this arc will be over by 700. I think it's only going to be about 2 issues long, maybe 3. Maybe it'll end at 700. I'll be reading the book in the background, but no way. I love Wade Samney's team, but I'm not dealing with Cap out of time again. No. And especially it's the future. They can't even keep Secret Empire just ended. They can't even keep Captain America in the main time stream. No, come on, no. Mark Waid went full. Once got into it. Oh wait, I don't care about Jeremy. I don't care about anything to do with politics. So him and all have been going hard, putting their ideas in these comics. Okay, I don't care about any of that. I know about that. I'm not going to read that out loud. Jeremy, I apologize. As everyone knows, and for those of you that don't like Batcave, who is new here, I don't care about politics. I'm not one of the those either. I stay away from politics. I stay away from a lot of that stuff. This is why I don't follow a lot of those writers and creators on Twitter. Anyone who's very politically driven, I don't follow on Twitter. But we all write what do we have in our lives, and I guess when it comes to him, Slot, and a few other writers, they like to be on the political. They like to put their political views in their books. Same as Savage Dragon with I forgot who wrote Savage Dragon. Why did his name leave my mind for a moment? Did he say it here? Did he mention the name? No, I don't know. Whatever. I don't even look at it that way. I'm just looking at it as Captain America. This story arc is it's okay. He makes it obvious. Just writes comics. Nobody cares about when we as reviewers and readers of comics only care about the writers' thoughts and opinions about the books they're writing, the events in the comic series. If you want to have a political Twitter, make up another Twitter for your political views and your life. You know, we care about the writers, you know, what they're doing in life, what conventions they're going to.
Eric Larson.
Thank you, Eric Larson. What conventions they're going to, you know, what books they're looking forward to writing, you know, what they're looking forward to doing, or little teasers to what they're doing. But when you start talking about politics and SJW and stuff like that, that's where I turn you off and say, no, man, no. And you know what? I was ignorant to the whole SJW thing even until it was brought to my attention. And ever since it's been brought to my attention, that's literally all I've been seeing. So the less I see of it, the better. So Mark Waid, great writer. It's not working for me with Captain America. I'll come back for 700 though, because it's a big number. But like Tevye said, not another I'm going into the future story. No, because you know what's going to happen. He'll find a way to come back in time to the moment where he was frozen, stop them, prevent the dark future from happening. Hooray! Marvel continues forward in the same timeline it's been going through. Yeah, politics is definitely an easy way to lose friends and make enemies. I 100% agree, Jeremy, and that's why I don't do it. There are 3 things they say in life, and I've taught this to several people. You don't talk about politics. You don't talk about religious views. Like you don't push your religious views on people. You could obviously talk about it, but you don't say that your religion's the only religion. You don't do religion at all. And you don't do sex.
Oh, no.
You keep sex, politics, and religion out of the conversation, especially with new friends, and you're gold. I mean, if you want to talk about something that your church is doing, that's one thing. But to go full on, Jesus is life, or there is no religion other than the Jewish religion, or stuff like that, that's where you're going to start losing friends super quick as well. So, but beside the point, we're here to talk comics, and that's what we do. I talk life too. I really do. But still, like I said, politics bore the hell out of me anyway. So that's one thing I don't have to worry about. Sex is my own personal business anyway when it comes to my life. And religion, I know what I am, and I know people know what I am. And if they have questions or whatever, I mean, they're welcome to ask me. I'm probably not the best person to ask since I haven't been in church since I was young-ish.
Very long time.
So I'm not really the #1 best person to ask about church and the Catholic religion. But, yeah, again, the 3 things that I say you don't have in conversation, I don't have to worry about anyway. I mean, I'll make some, you know, every now and again I can make a blue, if you know what I mean when I say a blue joke, a dirty joke. But in my personal life of that, I keep that out. But that we've skewed from comics, so we're going to slowly eschew back into comics. So basically the entire storyline is pointless. Yeah, that's what I mean, Tevye. We know how it's going to end already. He's going to go back in time. Because he's not going to leave the present. He's in the present. He's in the Avengers thing right now.
Yeah.
He's all over the place in the Marvel Universe. So obviously he's not going to stay in the future. What are we? Nobody's going to see him again until 2025?
Mm.
Come on.
Or 2099.
As Christopher Walken would say, come on. But Marvel 2-in-1 issue #3. I'm enjoying this story. I still have to read a bit of it.
The Thing and the Human Torch.
Yes, but it's called Marvel 2-in-1.
Well, I wrote
right now.
It.
Okay, right now it is. Mike, you're right. Right now, it's the Thing and Human Torch. It is going to change at some point, but I'm enjoying the story. I really am with Thing and Human Torch, and you have Doom. Who? The ending of this book, though, the Dark Fantastic Four, possibly. That looked really interesting. I'm still reading this book, though. I missed a couple of. I read it as fast as I could. I really hate reading books fast, so I am going to go back to make sure. We'll talk about that in a moment. So I went back and I reread it. This might become a casual read at some point, but for right now, while we're sticking with the Human Torch and Thing, I'll stick with it. But I do believe 2-in-1 at some point is supposed to focus. It's supposed to switch to something else. Maybe after the story arc's over, it goes to another. Because 2-in-1 is usually 2 characters put together. Right now, it's the Thing and Human Torch. There will be others later on. After you show this book, you got to go step out for a moment for you know what.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
I thought you dropped this one.
I am. This is the last one that you'll see on the review.
Okay.
Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, issue #14. It is a one and done issue. It is a transition story that that is All right, let's try this again. It is a standalone story before we get into Damnation. What's up, Larry? And Jeremy says, I want more Doomsday Clock. We'll talk about I have a few concerns with Doomsday Clock. We'll get to that as we get into DC. But Ben Reilly. This was a interesting story with Kane and his girlfriend, question mark. Not sure if it was if their girlfriend, boyfriend yet. Ben Reilly we get to see Mysterio that outside of costume, because apparently he's the one that brought the demon back, possibly. And I didn't care. I didn't care about this issue. I mean, Ben wasn't even in his spider suit. He had a mask on and everything. And it's like, really? We're really doing this? So, Damnation is coming, as you guys know. It's crossing over with Iron Fist. We're gonna get a one shot with Ghost Rider. It's gonna be crossing into Doctor Strange. It's gonna be crossing into what other books? Ben, Iron Fist, Doctor Strange. There's gonna be the Damnation standalone mini. And then there's going to be a couple of one-shots. So, yes, Iron Fist and Ben Reilly, especially if it's connected to the event in stating. It won't be... Can Scarlet Spider get canceled? Tevia, I think Damnation is Marvel's last attempt to make people care about Ben Reilly and Iron Fist. I think, Iron Fist is close to the chopping block, and so is Ben Reilly. I feel like they're doing this little event to try to get people to come in to read the books. I think if this mini, which it will, fails, we will be seeing less. Possibly, they'll be letting both books go. I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm done with Ben Reilly until after Damnation, at least. Same thing with Iron Fist, unless, like I said, the stories are standalone, where I can just read the stories and not have to deal with having to read Damnation. I think that each story is connected to Damnation. If that's the case, I'm sorry, guys. Iron Fist is going to be missing from the reviews until we get past Damnation, but I hear rumors that it is going to be canceled definitely after Damnation. Ben Reilly, I have no clue. So if Iron Fist does get canceled, I might try Ben Reilly again after Damnation, but I am not. Marvel is throwing out little mini events, and now we've got the Infinity Crusade coming up to go along with the movie that's coming out this spring. And I did not. Bobby, what's up, Bobby? You're not late. You're right in the middle. Peter David to bring back Peter David, bring X Factor back. I think Michael would like that.
Yeah, but he's not going to do it. We've already established that answer. He's not going to do it. If he does, that'd be great, but it's not.
But as far as Ben Reilly's concerned, I'm done. Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, issue number 16. Annie Mae's first day of school. And we get to see the times really hit Pete's. Now, remember, this is if Pete and Mary Jane stayed together, so Parker Industries never happened. None of the stuff that's happened to Pete's happened. He's been a photographer his entire life in this universe. And now, the trials of time have finally caught up with Pete. Kids are pulling out cell phones and drones and taking pictures. And J. Jonah Jameson can't pay him to take pictures of Spider-Man as much anymore because anybody can do it now. All they need is a drone in the sky or cell phones. So Pete ends up taking a job as a part-time teacher at Annie Mae's school. And Annie doesn't like that. And while they're out and about, they're fighting about it. And I love how Mary Jane has to come in and say, you give her personal space, and we need the money, so deal with it. Hilarious. This is a fun book, I will say that. But at the same time, it's like it's Annie's first day. It's her first time at school. She doesn't have, she has friends, but it's not the same. She doesn't feel like she really belongs. The only time she feels like she belongs is when she's in the spider suit. This is very Peter Parker reminiscent, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But anyway, in the end, something happens at school. And now Annie shushes her dad away because the dad thinks, Pete comes in and thinks something's wrong. And she shushes him away. And now Annie's like, okay, so let's deal with this. And it's these two students that did something to themselves, and now they kind of have powers, possibly. We'll have to wait and see what happens next. But this is at least one Spider-Man book that I'm enjoying thoroughly still. CB might bring it back. Believe in April he fully takes over as ETC fully. We'll see. We'll see. But that's it for Marvel. A lot of drops, one enjoyment, and one possible drop. DC Comics, The New Age of Superheroes, Sideways, issue number 1. Off the bat, I love the artwork. This book gives me actually a very deep Spider-Man feel as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can put it down now. I think they've seen it. I mean, I don't know what you want them to do. Scan it?
I was just about to. What's there to rush to?
I like the main character. I like his friend. She's the one that made his costume. We get obviously a little reference to Metal, where he was involved and how it affected and what happened to him during Metal. But then we go right into the story, and now he can jump through portals, and this voice is chasing after him at some point. First of all, we get to see him in school, and things aren't going so well for him in school either. He's adopted, by the way, and ever since the whole Gotham incident, which is what they're calling it, now his mother wants to drive him to school. So he's a loser in school, and now he has these superpowers, and he's being chased by this being. That's the one thing I really feel like we got such a little taste of it that by the last page where we get introduced to this first threat, I was like, okay, So we'll see where issue 2 goes. Out of the 3 books that Metal has dropped so far, 2 of the 3 I'm enjoying: Rampage and Sideways. I'm not touching Silencer until John Romita Jr. is far away from that book. I've looked at it, but though it doesn't really look too interesting to me anyway, I'm not a fan of John Romita Jr.'s art, so when I saw his art, it kind of took me out of the book right away. Sideways is Spider-Man. If Slott wasn't... okay. Ready for... yes, I'm ready for Terrifics. I'm ready for the Terrifics. That I am. So now we go into...
Justice League of America.
That will probably be my 4th favorite.
Justice League of America, issue number 24. And I was wrong. Actually, the person that came at the end was not Wonder Woman. No, it wasn't. It was actually, as the cover says, Prometheus. That's her name. And basically in this book, it's Kathleen Snow, saying that should she go back to being Killer Frost or not? So it was like really rock, paper, scissors with her because she's fighting off, against her team because she's trying to figure out, what she's going to do, where Prometheus comes in and then she has a fight with Terestia. Vixen actually comes back with a group of people, of spirits, to actually take down Terestia Towers. And that was like really an awesome scene right there. And, of course, in the end, Kathleen turned into Killer Frost, where the new Adam, was trying to tell her no because he's trying to find a cure for her. Mm-hmm. But since she had no choice, and in order to end all this thing, she turned to Killer Frost again. So she's once again Killer Frost. And then the whole thing in the end, Batman finally comes in.
Of course.
After all that, it's like saying, we need you for a mission or something. Is there like something going on in Batman that he needs her for a mission or something? Because I don't know what's going on. He's out and then he's in again. I don't know what's up with that. But
Steve Orlando's been doing a good job with JLA and Supergirl. Supergirl I dropped, Jeremy. I'm not really digging Supergirl at all. I don't know, man. I think that's where we differ right there. I've not been enjoying Supergirl. I've given up on Supergirl, as a matter of fact, with this whole DEO chasing after and stuff.
Yeah, but it was an okay issue.
Now, you mentioned Doomsday Clock, though, Jeremy. Dark Knight's Rising Wild Hunt one-shot. I got maybe 1 or 2 pages into this book and realized how much I really don't care about Metal anymore. I really don't. So what happened was, after the 2nd page, I started skimming the book. I just didn't care anymore. I just don't care anymore. I mean, we're already in the Metal books. DC, I don't know if DC purposely delayed the book. Like, if this is scheduled on, like, not delayed, but purposely scheduled the book this way, or if there were delays and that's why it's coming out late. But personally, I don't care about Metal anymore. It was dragging for a very long time, and I just don't care. And I didn't care about this book. And when Batman, or the Red Death Flash Batman, was purified by our Flash, Barry Flash, and turned good again and was able to take control of his body, I was like, good. So finally, the light is starting to show, the win. And then the laughing Batman comes in and said, I planned this all along, kills the now good Batman Flash, Red Death Flash, and now the world, we find out that he was pushing the Justice League and the superheroes to do what they've been doing to destroy the world. How this is all going to wrap up in one issue worries the hell out of me, because I have a feeling this is going to be like one of those, you know, they're going to do one thing and one thing alone, and then the world is going to just, oh, he did that thing, the one thing not to do on that one panel, on that one page. World is fixed. Evil Batman away. But it did end with a possible 53rd Earth in the multiverse. The Ape-verse. And I love how they're like, do you know what DC stands for? Detective Chimp. If I knew that DC Comics, since the day it was created, was based off of Detective Chimp comics, man.
What do you think it stood for?
It stands for Detective Comics, but beside the point, I love how in the end they're like, what do you think DC stands for? Detective Chimp. That's right. DC Comics, it is Detective Chimp, period. Always has been, since the day it was created. The creators back in the 1930s said Detective Chimp.
I'm sorry, I can't.
So it's almost over. One more issue to go, and then I never have to say Dark Knight's Metal, I pray, ever again. I can't. I swear. But this is what concerns me about Doomsday Clock. Metal, because I think Tevi says, yep, the delay killed this book. There was a delay. Doomsday Clock is about to hit the same problem because, and ironically, Schneider is writing Doomsday Clock. Oh, no, Jeff Johns is writing Doomsday Clock. I'm sorry. I almost said something wrong. But they want to delay on purpose Doomsday Clock to once every other month. So it's going to be a month we get an issue, and then the next month we don't, and then a month we get an issue, and then another month we don't. So this event's going to last 2 years. Dark Knight's Metal has overstayed its welcome, and I think that that's what pushed a lot of us out too, is the fact that it's taken so long to get to where we're at. I believe that when the last issue of Metal comes out is when the first issue of Metal released last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it has been a year already.
Has Dark Knight's Metal been out for a year?
No, it hasn't.
When did it start?
It just started recently, like 4 months ago.
No, it did not. There's 6 issues of the book, and 5 have been released.
There's no way it's been a year.
Almost a year, I think.
No way. It can't be a year right now. It was like around the winter time the Metal started.
Maybe it started in the fall. Yeah,
but there's no way it's 1 year.
I feel like it has been, though, and that's a bad thing when you feel like that it's been there for a while.
Way.
But anyway, beside the point, Metal has gone on way longer than it's supposed to, and I feel like Doomsday Clock, they're stretching it until... Do you guys understand this is going to end, Doomsday Clock, in 2019? 2019, which is when all the Rebirth stuff was supposed to be put behind us, the whole Dr. Manhattan thing was supposed to be done, and we continue forward in the now fixed DC universe. Now we're pushing everything to 2017 and 19. And I'm also very upset that I found out that because Brian Michael Bendis is doing so many projects, Action, Superman, both are going to a once-a-month format again, being the first main title DC has slapped from the twice a month to now only once a month. Because Bendis obviously can't handle 4 Superman books, plus the other 8 projects that DC has him doing. So only 1 from each title will be released each month. I like having Superman once a week. But now because we have one person doing both books, plus his own version of the Ultimate DC, plus his own Jinx world, plus Lord knows what else, once a month. Once a month we're getting Action. Once a month, we're getting Superman, which means his story arcs will be stretched out even longer. Understand now, it's not 2 issues a month, 1. So that means a 6-issue story arc is 6 months again instead of 3. I don't understand why Bendis had to get both Superman books. He could have just gotten 1, and somebody else could have gotten the second. This way we could have had 2 issues a month. And also, one person should not be the voice of a whole character when he has 2 titles. Detective and Batman, perfect example. One writer does not write both. There are 2 separate writers. We should have 2 separate writers for Superman as well. Let him have action. If Bendis wants action, take action, but somebody else should be writing Superman. This is bullshit, and this is why I'm already... Bendis hasn't even started on Superman yet, and I'm already getting aggravation. I'm already getting the indigestion of Bendis in the Superman books. I'm already getting that. I hope to God that Bendis has some good stories to tell with Superman, because I'm going to be really pissed if it sucks. I really am going to be pissed now. And then we also have, before we even get back to action and Superman, we have to deal with a 6-issue retelling of Superman's origin for the... Gee, I'm dying here. For the umpteenth time. Bias treatment that Marvel gave him. I'm hoping that DC is a little bit smarter than Marvel. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, going all the way back, this is why I'm concerned about Doomsday Clock. That's the only reason why I'm concerned about Doomsday Clock, because they're taking forever to get through Metal. I feel like that Doomsday Clock, the same thing is going to happen. That it's going to be too long and people are going to start to not care anymore. That's what I'm concerned about. Titans issue number 20. The Titans are grounded. Roy and, I forgot her name, Jade end up hooking up, which was a mistake. And we find out that she and he were after a specific drug that she ends up taking back to the bad guys. Donna's stuck on the Justice League satellite. And Dick helps Wally move into his apartment. Yes, that's right. Wally is back in life. You know, he's back into leading a regular life again. I enjoy this book. I enjoy Titans. So the Titans are grounded right now because of the Justice League, pending, you know, Donna and everything else that's going on, making sure that they aren't going to go off the handle. Obviously, we know that's not going to last. Maybe 1 or 2 more months of this story arc, and then we're going to go right back to the Titans being the Titans again. But yeah, I'm really looking forward. I don't know, this arc I'm not really digging, because I never like when a older team smacks down a younger team and says you guys might not be really a good idea. So and I don't really dig having Roy as the main, because Roy right now is like the main spotlight of the book. I hope that this arc is a short one. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't know how I feel about this being a long-running, like 6-month arc. While you do that, I'm going to just do something 2 seconds.
Red Hood and the Outlaws, issue number 19 of this cover right here. So, for this issue, Artemis and Jason Todd are going out on a date. Both of them, seriously. Where Artemis and Jason Todd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're going out on a date while Bizarro is staying behind to actually just keep an eye on the lair and stuff like that. So as someone is spying on Bizarro, which is Lex, who's spying on Bizarro. Bizarro's spying on Jason Todd and Artemis just to see what goes on. That little doll that gets in his head gets to him a little bit, and his little kryptonite bit that he goes into to keep him from being who he is and stuff like that. So the whole blah-de-blah thing was that Artemis is telling Jason Todd about the whole them going out together and everything, and that's really what the whole book was about. And then Bizarro goes to a bar to actually meet up with somebody. I forgot what his name was. The guy with the 3 faces or something. I can't remember who he is. Like maybe I can't because I deleted it. But basically, he meets up with somebody, and then at the end of the issue, Bizarro, Jason Todd, and Artemis find Bizarro, and he's fainted. and then he comes back alive again. And the next issue has to deal with Penguin. Because it says something, secrets, lies, and Penguin, I believe.
Oh.
So he might be in the next issue. But it was a pretty okay issue for that.
A new era begins for New Superman, and a new title, actually. New Superman and the Justice League of China. This is issue number 20. A new era begins. So Keenan is now the keeper of yin and yang. I love this Superman S. This is cool. DC, make this a shirt, and I will pre-order it from DC. I will pre-order that shirt. I'm sorry. I love that S. That S looks nice. You got to agree.
All right.
Make that a shirt. I mean, you've made Red Sun. You've made several. Make that a shirt. I will buy it. But anyway, Keenan is fighting his own, being who he is, because now he has yin and yang inside of him, and he's afraid that if he continues down the path where he was kind of brash and the way he was, he's giving in to all yang. So he is trying to be very zen, and it's driving Avery, Flash of China, absolutely bonkers, because he's trying to be, as she puts it, a monk. And she's like, dude, stop pretending to be something you're not. You need to be who you are and whatever. And then we get introduced to a character that's kind of like Parasite but in China. We also get introduced to the possible Aquaman of China, which he is actually from Korea. It's a boy who can manipulate water and sea life, and he's a prince also in Korea, and he's actually escaping. And while the Justice League of China is dealing with this Parasite character, he's escaping Korea. And what happens is, I love there's a moment, and I shared it as my top 5 panels, where Keenan and Avery are fighting about Keenan's personality change and how he's acting too good to, he's not acting himself. And she's like, you're boring. You're this and that. He's like, boring. And then he kisses her. I have a feeling this is a relationship in the making here. But you can see that Keenan is in there. He has to just learn to be himself. And I like the inner aspect of this. Is, every human being is a yin and a yang. There's a good side to all of us and a bad side. And for us, we as beings of yin and yang have to find that in between, that where we are ourselves, but at the same time, we're not too evil and we're not too good. We're right in dead center. We are our zen. And I feel like Keenan is pushing too much to be good because he's afraid he'll give in to all yang and become evil. But at the same time, he's not being who he is. And Avery's trying to make him remember, listen, dude, this isn't you. You don't have to be pure good. You can still be you and, be a good guy. So I like that. And I like the possible relationship going on with Avery and New Superman. I like it. I dig it. You can see that he kissed her, and then she's like, that's the Keenan we all know, that I know and love. And it's like, I didn't mean love. And they run off, and then that's where they get introduced to the Aquaman-esque character jumping the border from Korea over to China. And we also get to see the Lantern Corps of China and how easily the Justice League take them out. So it's funny that they're still trying that company to control China and the Justice League and everything else. But anyway, I love New Superman. I really dig this book a lot. I'm glad I started picking it up physically again. I'm loving this series. It's amazing, especially between Keenan and Flash. I agree. See, now this is something I'd like to see an animated movie of. All New Superman. Zod's Will in Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, issue number 38, but I feel like not much happened here. Hal has the ability to reach out to his ring. He takes an audience with Zod and finds out that Zod doesn't give two craps about the Green Lantern Corps. He wants to analyze the Green Lantern rings in order to recreate them, possibly. And I like how he has an audience with Zod, and I like how Zod's son's like, well, who are the Green Lanterns? And Ursa hates the Green Lanterns because obviously Krypton was destroyed because Tomar Ray wasn't around to protect it, or, it exploded and Tomar Ray did nothing about it because Tomar Ray was part of that sector at the time. And I like how Hal Jordan kind of snarkily goes, we're the good guys and we take out the bad guys, and you guys are kind of the bad guys right now. I like that. And everybody gets pissed. They send him back to the prison. He has more of a connection to his ring now because he made it. So he can actually reach out to it and have it come to him. There was a great scene, and I think it was in somebody's top 5, where Eradicator gets the ring right through his head, pops out the other side. Hal gets his ring back, but Kyle's in very bad shape. So he gives Kyle his ring and says, dude, you're going back to Mogo. Tell the Lantern Corps to get their asses here now. Phew, by Kyle. He goes to Mogo. Hal is still a prisoner. And Kyle arrives at Mogo and tells him we need to go help Hal. And then obviously he's going to tell them the whole story. But that is exactly everything that happened in this book, this issue. Hal is a prisoner. Hal got his ring back, sent Kyle over to Mogo to bring the other lanterns. Zod wants to create his own version of the lantern rings possibly. And that's it. That's the long and short of it, ladies and gentlemen. But it was a very good issue. And unlike where Superman's going to be in a couple of months, yes, I'm not letting that go for a while. Hal Jordan is twice a month, so we'll be getting another issue soon. I enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend it. Love the artwork. Definitely love the artwork. And I'm looking forward to the fight between the Lantern Corps and Zod. And I have a feeling by the time Action Comics is done, Superman might cross into Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps and help out the Lanterns. The last two are obviously the big two. Detective Comics issue 974. We're going to start with, though, the death of Clayface. So Batwoman did not modify the gun. As a matter of fact, she used it as is. And this is the fallout. Clayface is, in fact, dead. Batwoman killed him. Dead. And it causes a huge fight between Batman, Red Robin, Spoiler, and Batwoman. And Batman's like, you don't do this. How could you do this? And he basically excuses Batwoman, but not before the entire Bat family went face-to-face with each other. Because Batwing and, oh my God, why did he leave my mind, that other character, the other one? Azrael are on Batwoman's side that she did what she had to do for the, or else Clayface would have destroyed more people. Kaiju, as they say, Clayface would have destroyed more of Gotham. And Batman, Red Robin, and Spoiler are like, we don't kill. We're above that. And it causes a rift. And I like how Cassandra shows up, rips the bat symbol off of Batwoman and says, this symbol means no killing. And you're killing. You killed somebody who was good. You don't belong in this family. And they all kind of just like, she's excused. And the next issue actually is going to be her trial. But anyway, they excuse her. And we find out that Clayface had a final request to fix Victoria. And they fix her. She has a new lease on life. And the mayor says she was just a victim. So she gets out of a free, get out of jail free card, basically. And I like how, I forgot what the woman's name was that's in Monster Town, protecting the monster, says, got a new lease on life. Make it worthwhile because a very, very, very good friend of mine died so that you can have the chance that she stole from him because it's her fault that Clayface went completely batshit crazy and went back to his old ways. So she destroyed Clayface, but still, even in the state he was in, Clayface saved the girl in the end. Dying a true hero, basically. And now we've got Batwoman confronted by her father saying, maybe it's time you join the colony. To be continued. I'm on Batman's side here. I thought better of Batwoman, but Batwoman was always like that wild card when it came to the Bat family. So I kind of like where this is going to go, but nice being back. I'm glad you were back too, Jeremy. Thank you for stopping by. But Batwoman, I think, works better on her own. But at the same time, I'm not digging the Batwoman book, so I liked her here leading this team that Batman set her up to lead. But now the team is, Clayface is dead. The family's divided over Batwoman's decision. And also, spoiler, Stephanie ends up leaving as well to figure out her life and where she wants to go. And she can't agree with Tim's decision. She thinks that he's better than what he's becoming. And she can't stay there and watch him destroy himself. Ulysses, however, still has control over Brother Eye. And it ends with us finding out that Ulysses is pulling the strings for everything that's going on behind the scenes. Officially becoming my new love to hate this little bastard character. I hate him with a passion, and I know he's written that way on purpose so that we can all hate him. I hate him. I can't wait to see Tim beat the crap out of him and bash his face against a wall. I hate Ulysses. and it's going to be fun to see Tim kill him. Well, not kill him, because we all know they don't kill, but take his head and bash it into the ground a couple of times. Final book, and I'm sure you all know where this is going. Action Comics, issue number 997.
Yeah.
I got to admit, I really didn't care so much for the Superman side of this book. I really cared more for the Lois side of this book, because long short of it, Superman, Booster Gold get beaten up by Zod's son, Old Man Zod, and the Eradicator, and they get locked up and zapped by the end of the issue. However, Lois is infiltrating to get her father out and almost gets caught till John shows up to save her. And she's like, "Oh, Superman, I'm glad you're here." And John's like, "No, Ma, it's me. I'm glad I came." And she's like, "What are you doing here? I left you with Perry." He's like, "You should have told me what you were doing, and I'm glad I came, or else right now you'd be in trouble." So she ends up going with John. They find her father. They find Sam Lane, and they free him. And what happens is Sam Lane does not know about Clark being Superman, and as Lois says, we'll never know, and she'll never know how special John is either. And this is the first meeting of John and Sam, because as you guys know, there was a fight that happened with Lois and her father right, in the background that we didn't see, and it happened right before John was born. So he never met John. She was kind of excommunicated from her family. So yeah, and now they're escaping. They get caught and shot at. Obviously, Lois and Sam and Lois and her dad are human, so you see blood all over them. John gets knocked out. So Superman and Booster Gold are in a bad way right now in the future. And Lois and John and her father are in a bad way in the present. There's 3 issues until 1000, and man, everything's culminating really, really nicely. I am really enjoying Action Comics. Definitely a awesome read, as always. Brett Booth's artwork is spot on as well. I wish the artwork would stop changing at the drop of a dime. Like one issue it's one way, one issue it's another. I understand it's twice a month, and this kind of counters what I'm saying. But at the same time, if this is a Brett Booth story arc, let him do the second half of the story arc and let Dan Jurgens have been the first half. Don't keep switching every other issue. It's a little bit, takes you out of the book a little bit, but not bad anymore, because now I'm expecting it. So you know what? Ignore what I just said and just keep doing what you're doing, guys. At least you're giving us Action and Superman twice a month. So God bless all of you. I'm loving Dan Jurgens' run. I'm so happy I got to enjoy Dan Jurgens one more time, I guess, on Superman. And Peter J. Tomasi is doing a great job in the Superman book. But that's for next week's review. And with that, that's it for this week's review. So once again, everybody, that was our books this week. And I want to thank, first of all, everyone who came out live for us tonight. Tevia, Jeremy Renfro. We had also Bobby, It's Frank showed up. Larry, Rebel Comics showed up for a moment. We had a newcomer, Reviews from the Batcave. Thank you so much for being here. We hope you enjoyed this review, and we hope to see you in the future Reviews from Batcave. I don't have your name, so
It's Frank.
I said It's Frank.
Oh, you did? Oh, I didn't hear.
Bobby and It's Frank. I said both at the same time.
Oh,
but Reviews from the Batcave, whatever name, if you'd like us to just use your channel name, we'll do that. But thank you for stopping by. I hope you're still with us. And if you are, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope we see you again next week. For
somebody?
No.
You sure?
Oh, and Firestorm. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Firestorm popped in for one comment as well. And Firestorm, thank you. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
But Reviews in the Batcave, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope to see you in the next review, as well as if you want to see more live shows. We're having a live show tomorrow night. Comic Frontline, the Frontline Awards are happening finally on Comic Frontline tomorrow night, 10 p.m.-ish Eastern Time. I don't know why I say standard name, but Eastern Time. So we hope to see you there tomorrow night. Thank you all so much for being here. But now we're done with the live, so this is your turn, guys guys and gals who are watching post live. Let us know about the books you enjoyed this week. Your likes, dislikes, agree, disagree with us. We want to hear from you guys now. It's your turn. In the comments below, let us know what you thought about the books that came out this week, and we will answer your comments in the comments below. As always, guys, links in the description below to all the stuff that I am, all my social media stuff, Instagram, Twitter, etc., etc. Link also in the description. I didn't mention this last week because it was very new. There's also a link in the description below for a Discord. Obviously, Frontline's Discord, but there's another Discord called Dysfunctional Gaming. If you are a deep gaming fan and looking for a community of really awesome people to talk with about video games, there's actually a comic section, and finding people to play with and watching some awesome streamers on Twitch, go check out Dysfunctional Gaming. Link is also now in the description below. SoundCloud. We are delaying SoundCloud, but not the podcast. Let me take 2 seconds out of my time. Real quick announcement here. We're taking a few months off of SoundCloud for the fact that we have something big coming at the end of April.
Or March.
No. I got it wrong.
Oh.
160. So we have a really big thing coming. We have that. We do have something big coming in March. I'll announce that in a second. On March 20th, we have something big we're going to be doing. But in April, we also have another thing big coming. So after April, in May, as a celebration for my birth month. Perfect timing. In May, we will be joining SoundCloud once again. However, the Dark Avenger podcast is not going to take months break. We're going to start the Dark Avenger podcast this month with episode 0. Next month will be episode 1. And when we open up the SoundCloud channel again, we will take all the episodes from episode 0 all the way through to, I believe it'll be episode 3. And we will be uploading them to SoundCloud as well, with the first episode on the SoundCloud, which will be episode 4 or 5, exclusively going there first, and then obviously coming to YouTube a couple of days later. So we will be going to SoundCloud just a little bit later than we thought. We're going to go in on May instead of going in now. We're going to go 5 months into the year instead, just because we got a lot of big things coming. Now, March 20th, Sea of Thieves is being released, and we are going to be having some pirate fun here on this channel, on Brooklyn Boys, and it might even bleed into Frontline Live, because apparently Frontline Live has to be on the day where games decide they want to release their game, where companies decide they want to release their game. So we will be doing a Sea of Thieves themed celebration on March 20th. We've already got stuff in our cart, getting ready for the event. So we're going to be having fun. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch. We're going to be having some great times here out in the sea. And we got Rob, the great legend, joining us at the very end. Time is important, and my watch time starts here with DA. CAC. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, legend. I really appreciate that. Love me some Mikey. Chris, you need to sing.
Linky, that brother of yours?
Sing like that brother of yours. Hell yeah. But no, we are going to be doing some sea shanties here on March 20th. We are going to be having some fun with Sea of Thieves. What was your cover of the week? You'll find out tomorrow, Bobby. You will find out tomorrow. I'll give you a little hint. I want a shirt of that cover. Well, a thing on that cover. Saying like that brother. I sing, legend. I was a vocal singer. Michael and I both were vocalists.
Well, he means either me or the other one, Keith.
Our older brother is also he is a vocalist and bass player in a band. I was a vocalist and drum player in a band when I was younger, but we didn't go anywhere. Our older brother, yeah, right, it's Ben, Reilly, Bobby. But anyway, we're going to have the Sea of Thieves celebration in the end of March. Look forward to that. We're going to have another celebration, actually, since we're going to be doing that big special thing in May, but we won't have to worry about doing or going as far as we are with the Sea of Thieves one, because we really, really, really are going to be having fun with Sea of Thieves. So look forward to Sea of Thieves. Look forward. No, I'm talking Deuterog 18, man. I like that man singing with. So.
Oh, well, thank you.
But anyway, I play Sea of Thieves with you guys. Hell yeah, legend. Oh, yeah. Just don't lock me in the... Oh, no. We don't do none of that brig. We ain't going to do none of that brig stuff. We're going to have some fun. I don't know why they invented that. Obviously, I guess it's for when randoms join and they try to have a... They try to ruin your boat or whatever. But no. I will not do that to friends. I'll joke about it. I joked about it with Firestorm during the beta, but I would never do that. That takes away from the fun factor of the gameplay, and I would never do that. But to recap, SoundCloud, May will be coming. However, episodes will start this month with episode 0 and will carry over to SoundCloud. And the first episode, which will be episode 4 or 5, will be on SoundCloud exclusively first, then come to the YouTube. March 20th, we're going to be celebrating Sea of Thieves across the board on this channel, on Twitch, especially on Twitch, and on Brooklyn Boys. May even bleed into Frontline Live. Who knows? We are definitely getting some pirate stuff to celebrate that. And yeah, So there's your announcements for the next couple of months. Yeah. Yep, sounds good. So thank you all so much for being here. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll see you guys next week for another episode of the Dark Avenger Comic Review. Legend, thank you so much for joining us live. Gotta thank you because I already thanked everybody else who was here. Thank you so much. Wish that we had more time to spend together. If you're ever around at an hour ago from now, I hope you join us and we could talk comics and everything else. I have caught a lot of your live streams towards the end as well, so I'm just as guilty. I'm trying to catch some of yours early. I did catch a few of your game streams, though, with Injustice. Lots of good stuff there. Go check out Great Legends channel. The legend, after all, I mean. Check out his channel and his live streams. He comes at us live a lot. Yeah. I'm quiet. I'm one of those lurkers sometimes, but I think Rob knows that. He knows I'm watching. Even though I don't say anything, he knows I'm there. And that's all that matters, is that he knows that I'm there sometimes. Even if I say nothing, I'm always listening. I'm the Dark Avenger. I'm everywhere and I'm nowhere. Take care, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you guys next week for another episode of the Dark Avenger Comic Review. Keep reading and keep collecting, as always. Good night, everybody.
Hey, everyone.